We had to
Yeah.
focus. So that multi-front war I was talking about, so with storage, we fight one set of people. Photo sharing, we're fighting Facebook, Instagram, Snap, a whole different set of people. Productivity, we're fighting Microsoft and Google. And so we had to really figure out, okay, and actually going back to reading, there's a book called Only the Paranoid Survive by Andy Grove.
Yep.
Briefly, he says the industry is just defined by these strategic inflection points. Intel actually didn't start it. We know them as the microprocessor company, but they actually didn't start in microprocessors. They were memory. They sold RAM, so the memory that goes in computers. And they found their own version of a carousel mailbox situation where suddenly they had all this Japanese competition that was just doing things cheaper, better, faster, higher quality. They were no longer, this was just like no longer a winnable game. And Andy talks about navigating that. It's like, well, usually he's like, first we assess the situation as if we were like consultants to ourselves. We're like, well, if we were consultants to ourselves, what would we do with this competition? They'd be like, well, we'd get out of the memory business and go all in on this little sketchy microprocessor thing because we're doomed in our core business. They sort of walk out of the room and come back in. They're like, all right, we're getting out of the memory business. And he talks about that decision where he's like, first of all, just to recognize the magnitude, that's like Google saying they're getting out of search. This is not an easy thing. And then second, as Andy talked about, the thought process is like, well, you got to navigate these inflection points, and when you're in one, then you, as a CEO, you're tempted to hedge and try to keep your options open. You do not want to do that. You want to pick one thing